Any guesses what the first instruction is?
I just followed your first instruction.
Waiting for Prajwal and Arav to uh, follow suit as well. Yes, Arav followed the next one, uh, and so did Prajwal. Okay. Arav, can you check if Advik is joining in?
I'll ask him. Yeah, one sec.
Faraz is not going to join us today. He's unwell. Arav, you shared the you just shared your
PRD.
updated
Yeah,
PRD, right?
with the
Okay.
FRs.
Okay. Let's just wait for a bit for Advik to come by.
I've texted him.
Yeah. Meanwhile, let me just get some of my things sorted.
Yeah.
Uh, is Nikhil come joining in? Let me ping Nikhil. Let me just give Nikhil a call just a sec. Okay. I couldn't reach out to Nikhil. But I will start off then in just a bit. Okay. So quick. We'll start with a quick review. Let me see if I can record this session. Okay. All right, fine. So, Prajwal, I've seen your PRD. It's all sorted. Arav, let me quickly share my screen. Do you have a Google Doc
Yeah, it's
handy?
same one as last time. Same one as last
The
time.
same. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Could you share your screen so we can take a quick look at it?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't share right now. My laptop's like really laggy. Like it's barely able to load the meeting. Is it fine if you share for now?
Sure. Okay. Can you
Thank you.
share the link of the Google Doc?
Google Doc. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. My laptop's really laggy right now.
Okay, it's our session 2 out of prompting.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah.
And you've updated it
Yeah.
in
It's
tab
it's the one
2.
called Finals PRT.
Okay, got it. Okay,
That's up.
okay, cool. Let me share my screen.
Sure.
Okay, now is where we'll play a bit of hide and seek. I'm here to figure out if this is the document, right? Okay,
Yeah. Now one.
topics here. Okay. Uh, cool. So here we're now talking about target audience, pain point addressed, direct donation to user profile management. Okay.
It's the exact same thing. It's just efforts.
Got it. Got it. And you've added the functional requirements for all the user flows that you've listed down here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. I think this looks pretty decent. I think Prajwal's, we've seen it already. Um, so that is fine. Okay. I think Nikhil probably might not be joining in. No worries.
Advik said he's going to join. He thought it was a Zoom link, but it's Google
Sure.
Meet.
Yeah, he's here. Advik's here.
Yeah,
Advik?
sorry I was late. I thought there was going to be a Zoom link. I was looking for that for a while.
Yeah, so a last minute operational issue. Oh, by the way, we would have assumed you'd have joined if you turned your camera on. See what I did there.
One second.
Okay. Chalo then, let's get started with the conversation. I mean, the reason why we keep asking to turn on camera is otherwise it feels like we're talking to black boxes. It doesn't sort of work. Um, Let me know if you could see my screen.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So this time we tried to be, so me and Pritesh, we aren't the best at design. This time we thought, okay, let us spruce things up a bit. Hopefully this looks like a slightly better design deck. All right. So PRD says, so Prajwal's it's done. Nikhil's more or less done. I've had a quick check. Arav and Advek, the FR breakdown, I just saw that as well. That also looks good, right? So which means we're good to go. I think this is the first major milestone. I think like if there were any stars or something, no, that's but that's the first step. So just to reiterate, right? Why PRDs and most importantly, why the reason why we're stressing for functional requirements is we're going to use AI tools moving forward, right? Like literally at each stage in our build process. And you'd have seen, like, the race framework was created so that we give more context. Right? There should be no scope for interpretation out there, right? Which is why functional requirements broken down further into these statements makes a lot of sense. In fact, there are like a couple things. For example, um, even this, right? Like traditionally, like in real world PRDs, what sort of things happen is there would be even more details. For example, what does a registered dog shelter mean? And what's a verified dog shelter mean? So those details are also added. And for example, this would be further broken down into registered dog shelters are shown with, let's say, a question mark icon. A verified dog shelter is shown with a check mark, right? So this is the level of detail that we can go into as well. But thankfully, today's AI tools are picking up. They're getting better at understanding the reasoning and stuff. So this should be decent enough, right? Okay. Um, so so yeah. So just one last check before we move forward. Make sure that all your PRD has functional requirements for all the functionalities that you wanted to implement for all the stakeholders. In the pet shelter example, we have pet shelters, we have donors or volunteers, right? For both of these, what are the functionalities that we defined in our MVP? For all of them, functional requirements have to be written, right? Similarly, for the donation platform, the NGOs and the donation platform, which what you're doing, again, just reconfirm that all the stakeholders have functional requirements covered through, right? So what are we going to do next? So we'll do some live demo. The next step is we are going to take these PRDs and then we're going to break them into page by page flows. Now, why is this important? Right? This is needed because, like, essentially, what you're going to do, see, the way AI works, right? You tell it, build me a, for example, you can say, build me a donation platform. right? It's going to assume, or because the number of things that we've told is just a donation platform, it's going to assume the world in it and then build its own thing, right? We don't want to do that, right? We want to control literally every single page of it, right? So which is why we're going to do this. I'm going to show you one more additional, slightly optional aspect as well. Again, this is in case you're interested in controlling your design also. This becomes super helpful, right? So let me. I hope you can still see. You can see Claude opening up, right?
Yep.
Okay. So let me take this for example. The final PRD. I'll download it as. Try to remember or follow along what I'm doing so that it's going to be easier for you. Okay, I've downloaded this.
And just a pro tip, while you are uploading and downloading, always use markdown formats because that's what works really well with the AI tools. So he had downloaded in the .md file, so that will be pretty helpful. So keep that as a note to yourself.
So what are we doing here? So you have your PRD. You now need to convert that into actionable items, right? Meaning you have something on your thing. For example, this if you look at Claude interface, right? There is like a window. There's a navigation bar here, and then if I type something here, it opens up a different page, right? So there are different things out there, right? Like each page needs to be thought through separately. Each page should be built separately, right? And then between each page, there's going to be multiple changes or multiple connections and stuff, right? So that's what we're trying to build here. For example, what do I mean by a page is, let's say this is Beacon House, the website. Now this is a page. About us is a page. Our program is a page. Case studies is a page. All of these are different pages out here, right? In a so that is a static website. In a web application, there is some additional logic behind it, right? So we need to compartmentalize each of this. Uh, at the end of the day, what we're trying is, let's say this is one screen, right? Like you have your home page, or you have certain things here. Then you have your next button. Then clicking your next button would kind of take you somewhere else, right? This will give you your pet shelter details. Then inside that pet shelter, you click on a certain entry which came for registration. You click on that, you then see a registration screen. Now these are different screens that we are talking about, right? Yeah, sure. So here's what you need to do. If you look at it again, I've given it like a brief context. Then I've told it what to do, go through the PRD, understand the flow. So this is step-by-step thinking, right? Like we also spoke about this. This if you recall it, this is chain of thought, COT. We're forcing LLMs to think step by step. This is what we're doing. Step one is understand the screen that are needed for this app. Step two, based on the target users and their behavior, design mobile first, um, describe mobile first design description for each. screen. Again, so this is what I'm doing here is just a sample. I'm not going to share the output here. For example, these are the things, right? I prefer minimalist designs. Right? So it could be when you are building your app, the way you design could be like, let's say, colorful. It could be like whatever, right? Like you could add your own thoughts here, right? Uh, your white background with just one primary color for highlights. What now? What does this mean? Is highlights is text or your buttons or all the important things out there. So let's say this is again like not such a great prompt yet. This is just to kind of give you a quick demo of how this looks like. Let's just wait for it to write on all the screens. And while it loads up, this is the next tool that I want to introduce to you. It's called Stitch dot with Google. Now, what it does is it helps in designing front end screens. We'll talk about what is front end, what is back end, and all of that in just a bit, right? And this is something that I use for my day to day work, right? Literally every product or every app that I use, I first come here to design the screens first, and then get a sense of what's working, and then take it to other tools. Okay, I think largely done. All right, so now let's copy this and paste this here. I've selected mobile because we would want, so we're assuming this is a progressive web app, meaning even though this is a web application, it is designed for mobiles largely, right? Like because you want people to be accessing this on mobile as well. Uh, so I'm going to take the color schema and then I'm going to put it here. Now, why did I do that? Is because typically the way all of these code engines and all of these things behave is it follows sequential stuff. So what it tries to understand is if we put target audience, primary screens, and all the screen details and everything up front, what's going to happen is it's going to start designing all these screens the way it thinks. And by the time it reaches the color palette, it would have defined its screens already, right? So because we want the color system to be consistent across every screen, we kind of pick this up first and then hit on generate designs. Let's give it a minute, and I think it should. Oh, you can see my screen, right? You can see that it's on Stitch with Google. Yes, no?
Yes, yes. Advik, you have a question.
Yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
have a question. That's all. As you said, it'll be mainly a mobile like driven app, which is fine. But will we still have to design a separate layout for like bigger screens, like on a laptop or a tablet?
Okay, very good question. Let me actually show you. Tell me any interesting site that you have in mind. Let's say BlackRock, for example. I hope that these guys are fully responsive. Uh, okay, do you see my screen? Do you see BlackRock out here?
Yes.
Okay, so observe what happens when I do this. Wow. Okay, let me pick something else. LinkedIn. Let me open LinkedIn. Okay, observe what happens when I resize the thing. What's happening? Anybody?
So do we have?
Like the dimension. Oh, sorry, my bad. Here you go.
No, you were saying. All right. So basically, I have one question. So will you have to like specify to the AI that the two different layouts, like this will be the mobile one, but when it grows bigger, this is what you want to change it to?
Right. I'll answer that. Down here, you see what's happening, right? As in when it's not just one layout anymore, correct? So if you're looking at this on a mobile, this is how it's going to look like. Let me actually show that as well, right? If you go to inspect, uh, so this is how it looks like on your phone, correct? Then let's say we pick up an iPad Pro, right? This is how it looks on your iPad, right? And on desktop, you see the full version like loaded up. So this is called responsive design. Now AI is smart enough to understand that if you say, hey, we want a responsive design, it will create something called breakpoints, right? Now, what are these breakpoints? If you look at if you look at this, right? So the point where there is a layout change. You close now. If you just see this, right? At this point, whatever box that was here, it disappeared, right? So this means there's a layout change. So these points are called breakpoints. So the breakpoints is typically like the distance from this one to the edges, approximately, not the exact definition, but sort of. So when we say responsive design, AI is smart enough to define those breakpoints, and whenever the screen size falls below that, it will rearrange the components out there. So that's the theory behind it. So long story short, a shorter answer for what you asked. It's like you don't have to specifically design for both components. Design for one and say that this is mobile first, but fully responsive. AI is smart enough to rearrange the stuff. Did I answer your question? I'm sorry, I can't see you guys on out there, so I can't see your
Yeah,
text.
that yeah, I understood. Yeah, that would be
Okay, got it. So let it generate. While it generates, let's proceed a little further. Um, so what we did here is we started off with like the basic PRD, and then we are asking. So if you look at this, right, like look at the screens that you're going to have. You're going to have a landing page. On the landing page, you're going to have a Pocknet logo on the left. You're going to have a hamburger menu on the right. Then your hero section, your help dogs findings. So this is your landing page. You click on that. You then go to the shelter listing. So like there's going to be a header. There's going to be a search bar. Now this is meant to be a guide, right? This is not necessarily the final UI. You're supposed to you're supposed to visualize it a bit earlier, back in the time before AI era. Imagine this, right? We literally designers used to start off with a blank screen, then place icons and all of that to form a screen. Today, it's like happening with AI, like almost. Oh, it says something in. All right, let me just do one screen for the time being. Okay, let me just design. Let's say sometimes this happens. So it might be overloaded for AI, so that's fine. Okay, more. Um, once you get the first version of it, right, you have to think a bit about UI, like where do you place your boxes, your buttons, etc. And then keep iterating on it. Even this stitch as a tool, right? You can chat with it and say, for example, you can tell things like, I don't like the color of it, or move the submit button a little below. You can just tell it in natural language, and this will design it for you. I have a feeling it's because of the browser. Let me change the browser and try. Let's give it a minute. Uh, yeah, I think there's something wrong with the browser, but anyway, let's proceed. So we'll remind me in like 5 minutes or so. We'll go back and check how the screens are looking like. But then we'll move forward. So at the end of the day, we're all designing web applications, right? Do you guys have an idea of what architecture? So what is architecture? What happens inside a web app? Go for it. I mean, try to think about it logically. What are the different components that you see on any application that you see? I'll wait till one of you gives an answer, any answer.
Sorry, could you repeat that? I couldn't hear you properly. You broke up there.
Yeah. So behind any web application, any application for that sort, could be LinkedIn, could be anything, right? Or could be Facebook, Instagram. What are the different components that are consistent across multiple apps?
Coding, maybe.
Coding, okay. You code stuff. Then like from the architecture point of view, architecture would mean what are the different components? For example, every app that you see something on the front end. Now, front end, it literally means that, right? Like the front end, right? What you see on your screen, in this case, in LinkedIn, what I opened earlier, whatever you see, the buttons, the text, the placement of different components, everything, all of that is front end, right? Then there is something called a database, right? I'll probably talk about backend in just a bit, but a database is where you store any and everything related to your product. Now, what would you, for example, if you take Instagram, right? Assume that your product folks at Instagram, right? What are the different parameters you would want to store on Instagram? You're not a user of Instagram, you are the product manager of Instagram, right? What do you think? What parameters would you store? And think through, give out what's running in your head.
Maybe like the user's images and stuff, like
Yes.
their posts.
Correct. The profile images, right? And every user is unique, right? I mean, I should be able to see my posts. Nobody else should be able to edit my posts. So all the posts that I've done, all the comments that you because so whatever action you do once, and you can see it even sometime later in the future. Those are all things that are often saved in a database. Let's say, for example, you post something on Twitter, you post something on Instagram. A week later, you still see that out there, irrespective of whether you log out, you log in, it's still there. Why? Because it's stored somewhere. It's very similar to how your folders work. In your you once you it's just like a storage space, right? Now, backend is like it also includes like it connects your front end, it connects your databases, it puts everything like there are servers in it. This is something that runs everything. I'm trying to avoid technical jargon here just to kind of make it like uh, relatively easier to consume. And then lastly, API calls is like, for example, you again, like the analogy says, right? The waiter facilitates all the communication between your front end. Like you went to a restaurant, you want to order a menu, order a dish, right? You tell the waiter saying, "Hey, I want this." The waiter goes to your goes to the kitchen, talks to the chef, then collects different stuff from so-called database and gets the dish prepared and then delivers the dish back to you. The API, the waiter does not for you. He only takes it and delivers it back. That's exactly what an API does. Now, these are the only few things that you need to understand. You need to have a sense of, have a rough idea. So after this session, what I want you all to do is to kind of read up a bit about the architecture of web apps. It's very important. It's going to be useful. You'll be able to troubleshoot a lot faster if you're aware of this. Right? Anyway, let's see the screens that it has generated. Right? Okay. I think I thought I saw a dog thing out there here earlier for a second. Okay, but you see this, right? This is one thing. So Animal Heaven it's a verified shelter. It's in Mumbai, a small description. You could donate now or you could view photos, right? Now this is a pretty decent screen, right? this is what we're talking about. Now, this level of detail, right? This is as good as you hiring a designer to design these screens typically, right? Otherwise, if I mean, is anyone does anyone have a design background? Do you guys paint? Do you guys create something? Use Figma or things like that? Anybody? Yes, no? Okay, I'm assuming no. Right now, this is where it makes it a lot easier. Traditionally, in fact, when we were doing this in our previous organization, right, there used to be like a team of 15, 20 designers, each one of them sketching each screen, right? And once that is done, then it gets handed over to the engineers who will then be like, okay, this is a header. I'm going to do this. Now, this is going to be a next button. If I click here, it should go to, let's say, this page and not to this page. So all this logic and everything comes after this, right? So this is the first step. Now, just to quickly recap, you have your PRD. From the PRD, you're generating screen by screen descriptions. It serves two purposes. Purpose number one is it helps you generate screen by screen view. There are multiple things. You can use a tool called UX Pilot as well, right? This is another tool. I'll give you like a list of uh, tools which you can use for free to generate your initial set of screens, right? Now, once this is done, what next? Right? Again, just a quick summary again, right? Users, they interact with your front end. There is APIs in between which communicate your intent. For example, a user logged in. Now, login, clearly there is one separate system which holds the name of the user. How do you know that it's the same user who logged in? Only if the user is logged in can he access, let's say, a certain set of screens. Right? Now, all of these things are taken care by APIs. Backend is like backend in your databases is where you store all the information about yeah, your products. Could be user information, could be shelter information, could be locations, could be any actions that the users have done. For example, let's say I'm a user on for shelter. I have donated, let's say, 1,000 rupees out there. Now, me as a donor, the amount that I donated, what date did I donate, which shelter did I donate to, whether the payment got received or did it fail, and how did I pay using UPI. All of this is information that is stored in the database so that if we need to fetch it at any point in time in the future, right? So yeah, I think now back to like a few questions, right? Like, why do we need a database? That is something that we're going to start with because technically, start there is front end. You need to kind of define how your front end looks like. You need to define how your back end looks like, meaning where do you store this data? Now that's something that we need to define, right? But before we do that, we need to understand what is it that we need to save, what is it that we need to store. Uh, just to quickly coming back to this, right? Prajwal, if you can walk through for your product, can you think of possible uh, parameters or possible information that you need your product to save? Let's
So,
go one by one.
yeah. So for looking at all the kind of people who are going to use the website, I need to save the volunteers' details and information and the
When you say
organizations.
when you say a volunteer's information, what kind of information would you see? This is where it becomes very important, right? Now, when you say volunteers, number one, you would see again, we just like how we write code for front end, we also will be writing a code for the back end and database creation structures and stuff, right? Now, to get to that, we'll use AI again, but we'll need to tell AI exactly what we want, right? In this case, volunteers, what information from the volunteers would you need?
We need their names and
Mhm.
the region where they live in.
Correct.
Then, we would also ask them for their preferences on what kind of task or what ideas they want to be in,
Nice. Correct.
and their uh, time they can work in, how much time hours they
Perfect.
can.
Right. So these are all attributes of a user of type volunteer, right?
Yeah,
Then there are other users also of your product, right? Which is your NGO platforms.
NGOs.
Right now, from NGOs, what kind of data would you store?
So what kind of services they provide?
Yes.
Where are they? Like where are they, where's the NGO located or associated with,
Right.
then general information about the NGO like photos or what previous any actions
Mhm.
they've taken.
Right.
That that will be mostly it than this.
Got it. Got it. Any other than users, right?
Hmm.
What other kind of information can you or would you have to store?
Other interaction for users.
So
Hmm.
each NGO would need, let's say, a certain set of tasks. For example, let's say Teach for India might need a teacher to be teaching, let's say, grade 9 students or a grade 8 students math. Right now, that is a task given by certain NGO. So all these tasks or job posting, and when do you need this task to? For
Yeah.
example, I need a class teacher from this time to this time during this date. Now, those are things that you need to save, right? Similarly, then once I see a task as a volunteer, I apply for it, right? My application status should be stored again, right? Uh,
Yes.
Krishna applied for a teaching role on a certain date for a certain location, and so did five other people. Of all of them, let's say the guy who's posting it would be reviewing all the applications, right? So the person would be reviewing the application and marking it as okay, approved, rejected, or put on hold. All that information, basically status of application, now that has to be stored, right? And then another thing again, like these are just four things that I thought should be added as part of your product. But this is where you need to step up and think, saying what are all the things that I need to store in my product. Again, there is like a slightly simpler way to do this as well. We will explore that in just a bit, right? Next up, Arav, Advik, what's your storage requirements? Um, you guys there?
One sec, sorry, I was on mute. So for us, there would be two components: one for the donor or the user, and one for the shelter. So for the
Mhm.
shelter would be things like payment information, so the banking details. It would be the names, the addresses, um, pictures of the shelters that we can upload to the site. And
Mm,
on the other hand, for the user, it would be the login information that would go for the shelter too. It would be their credit card information, the payment information, how they pay, their
right,
password, username, how much they've paid, all of those things.
right, right. And likewise, again, the donations, which country are they coming from? Now, for example, let's say if you're receiving a donation from US versus donation from India, are there any different tax laws that get applied differently? Now, we've
Yeah.
taken that outside of scope for the MVP currently because we would probably, let's say, start with Indian users and Indian donations or so forever for the time being. But at some point, if you want to kind of move to, let's say, accepting a US or a overseas donation, right? You'll also a new component comes in, which is tax compliance and payment gateways and stuff there, right? Similarly, there are a lot of admin approvals as well. Again, same is the case for Nikhil's project as well. But this database, like if you don't have a robust database, a robust backend, your app is going to uh, not function as well, right? Because without any of the storage, you'll have like a beautiful looking piece, but then it's non-functional, right? You see something, you imagine this, right? You're creating a form, for example. You fill the form, but when you click submit, if nothing happens, then the form is of no use. There is, no matter how beautiful you've defined it, right? Now, in this case, the form is your front end. The fields that you type in. When you click submit, there is a call that happens from the front end to the back end. And then that call, that function, takes all the details from the front end and stores it into your database. Right. So that's the process that happens. This is something that we will do at a slightly grander scale. Now, in terms of databases, there are multiple types of databases. There is SQL, NoSQL, then there are like a document based, then there are structured databases and all of that. Right now, this is optional for you guys to go through, but if you're interested, you should definitely read up what kind of databases are there and which database is useful for what kind of products, etc. Now, for our project, right, we will use a Postgres. So there's this Postgres-based database. About this, you should definitely read about it. And specifically, we'll be using Superbase. This is the product that we're going to use, right, for the purpose of the projects that we're going to build in. Why? Because Superbase has a very, very smooth connection integrations with other tools like Cursor, Bolt, Lovable. There are multiple tools that we will explore in the upcoming sessions. It has a very good integration, and it also is AI powered. It's an AI powered database, so we could start creating this code and everything using AI as well, right? So now comes the next segment, right? This becomes a very critical piece. In fact, this is where we will pause the session after a quick demo. I'll take some quick pause. Any questions do you have, if any? Can anyone summarize what we've done so far, like right from session 1 all the way up to session 4 as of today? Can anyone summarize quickly? Okay. I'll probably pick the ones in my screen. I see Advik first.
So in session one, we of course went through the introduction, how like marketing research and all that you had to do, and and then in like basically we had to just figure out what the competitors are and whatnot. Then the
And
second,
how did that help you? Or what did that help you? Or what is the intent of that marketing research?
it helps figure out whether the idea will really take off with the customers, whether they need it, if it's an actual problem you need to solve, what are the problems that they want to be solved, like what are the customer like the customer problems and all that, those 1 to 2 star reviews. Then we
Perfect.
further like documented it more formally with that PRDs in the second session,
Perfect.
which
So
we asked the idea.
we'll now move to Arav next in my titles. Arav session 2. What did we do in session 2?
So session two, we just looked at what the elements of a PRD, what you actually need to put in the PRD, and how you build it, and we tried making our own ones, which we finished for homework
Right. And the PRD is important
because it tells if it tells designer everything that needs to be in the app, like everything that needs to be in the app, that it gives all the information to the designer.
perfect. And session 3, Prajwal,
So,
session 3, what did we briefly cover? We had that chat as well, right? We kind of reviewed a bit of the PRD. What was the summary for that? So we picked up the PRDs and then we kind of refreshed it a bit more. We added functional requirements. We've kind of given it some sort of a structure, and we also spoke about building in public strategy, right? Like technically, this is the time where you'll start talking to your folks around, start trying to get interest about what you're building. Now, building in public can be physical, can be digital, can be multiple ways as well, right? So that's what we've seen. Now, in this session, what we did was we took the functional requirements and then we broke it down into screen by screen descriptions. Now, why is screen by screen descriptions important? Number one, it gives us an easier way to design the screens, because front end, somebody has to design the front end, right? How does it look like and everything. So that is needed, and hence we did page by page, screen by screen descriptions. After that, the other important thing is while we start coding between screen 1 to screen 2, what is the logic? What are the elements that should be there on screen 1? What are the elements that should be there on screen 2? Which are clickable, which are non-clickable? What is a drop down? What is a hover, etc.? These are things that are decided on the design. And again, page by page, right? So, which leaves us to the next last thing, right? I was actually thinking of doing one more bit, but I'm like, okay, let us do something slightly interesting because we have another 15 minutes or 10 minutes of time. I think today we can close the session a little sooner. Let me introduce you to one tool called Bolt.new, right? Has anyone heard of this tool? Nope. Okay. Any idea what this tool can do? Any guesses?
You build your app using AI like prompts.
Hmm. Let's actually see that. Okay. Tell me the wildest, silliest, stupidest idea that pops up into your mind, which you'd want to see it as an app. Whatever. Like it doesn't have to do anything with your project. Be crazy. I just want to demo the tool. Anything. Um, I want to build a weird looking note taking app, which is like Notion, but looks like Reddit. It should have just one feature, being able to take notes, create. Right? That's it. Now, this is like a I mean, how would you rate this prompt as on a scale of 1 to 5, one being super shitty to five being super good? How would you rate that prompt as this one? What number would you give?
Probably a 2.
I'd probably give -5 if possible. Because like we did nothing, right? We said weird looking note taking app. Weird looking can be anything. It could look anything. Weird is also subjective, right? And then we said it's just one feature. No, we didn't specify who is our target user, what are we building it for, etc. Right? Now I've taken this deliberately bad prompt just to show you what's possible when it comes to building. Now this look at what it's saying. A unique note that combines Notion's functionality with Reddit's distinctive visual style. It says Reddit style card layout for notes with voting arrows. I don't know why, but create, edit, and delete notes in inline editing, note categorization, search and filter, local storage, dark, light theme, responsive design. Now, we haven't told any of these points in the prompt, right? Why do you think AI decided to add those features? We've not asked for it. Any? I think you guys know the answer already. Why do you think it's the case? We did not ask it to do any of that, but why is it still doing it?
Because maybe that's how it's programmed to think or develop the website.
Correct. See, so this is how it all LLMs work, right? This is why context is very important. So we gave it a note-taking app. Then AI is trained on a lot of examples. So AI is it's all pattern recognition, right? It would have been trained on a lot of other examples. Now, the moment we said, "Hey, note-taking app," it would have then started looking at how other note-taking apps would have worked in the past. Every note taking app would have had a edit, delete, and all of those features, and hence it would have added to it. This is why if we don't give it enough context, AI tools will add its own features, and so for a simple product, it may not mean anything. But when you start improving complexity, it will confuse the shit out of you because it would have created something that you had not asked for. So that is why context is extremely important. And oh, by the way, here we are. This looks pretty okay for a shitty prompt. I think this looks decent enough, right? Yes, no?
It looks good enough
Yeah.
for whatever.
Can somebody tell what is missing in this apart from editing and deleting stuff? A quick hint, we have talked about this in this session.
We will wait till we get an answer. So give any answer. There's no right or wrong answer. Go for it.
Yeah.
There's no like account system. You can't like have your own account. Just random.
Okay. Okay. That's one. Beautiful. Anything else?
Any other uh, takers? Accounts is one. Anything else? Okay, go for it, Pritesh.
So, where do you think all of this is getting stored?
Oh,
Oh,
there's
is it
no
like
storage.
So he's writing a sample. So here you can see something over here, but if you actually go ahead and refresh this, right, like or open a new instance of it, none of it is there.
Bolt actually did some changes, dude. So that
Okay.
would, yeah. So, but normally what would have happened is if you refresh it, this would have been on. Why? Because it would have been stored. Uh, sorry, local storage. So this is where it would have been stored under all of these. So all of these key value pairs, if you open this further, this inside this, it stays inside your browser. It doesn't get stored. So if you if you okay, let me try doing this. Let me publish it. Uh, the problem is I shouldn't have used my account, Pritesh. I have a developer account with Bolt, so I have their latest update, which clubs Superbase with it.
Yeah, so yeah, Eric, I think posted a while back that they're doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I think we can make.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, and so here's the thing, right? So we actually did this is our way, like these notes, they're not here anymore because I've published this app, right? So now this does not have a database anymore. So like what Pritesh just said, uh, right? For example, let's say this is a note. If I refresh it, it is still there. Let me open this up in a different browser. Copy link. Let me open it here. It's not there, right? The reason why it is not there is because we didn't connect it to a database. So right now, now if I add anything here, right, it will still be there because it is now stored. It is still stored, but it is stored inside the browser memory. If I refresh or delete history, right, this will go away, right? If I connect this front end, if I connect this front end to a database like a Superbase, that is where this will get stored in a spreadsheet. Think of a Superbase or any of these databases as like a spreadsheet. It has like a row of data. In that row, you can define whatever number of, like you could say username, user email ID. You could define columns, and each table has its own thing, right? So that's about it, right? So building is going to be easy, debugging is going to be insanely difficult, right? Which is why we need like a robust PRD as fine-tuned versions of the PRD. In fact, in my first building days, where because it used to be vibe coding, right? Like whatever comes into our mind, we used to kind of put it out there as a prompt, keep building. But then when something breaks, it was very hard to find out where it broke. To prevent all of that is where we are writing all of these PRDs and stuff. All right. Okay. So last thing, I think that's good for today. So what we're going to do in the next session, we're going to start building our projects. We're going to start working on our code. We're going to start coding. The next session is not going to be a delivery class. Instead, it's going to be a conversation. So me and Pratish are going to be walking through, showing you how to prompt, how to start off with. Let's say we will be exploring bold.new, right? Uh, Before that, we need all of you to create. I'm assuming you all have GitHub accounts, right? Yes, no.
Sir, what account?
GitHub accounts. So GitHub is like your Google Drive of sorts, but it holds all code at one place, right? So you know what? We'll send out an email with all the places where you need to create an account. You should first create an account on GitHub, right? And then go to superbase.com, create your account in accounts in Superbase as well, right? Do this bit, and then we will talk through next. In our next session is where we're going to start actively building, because we have 5 more sessions in which we are going to complete the entire product, right? Um, so your off session work is again, uh, you can ignore the database schema and stuff. Why? Because we will do that in a one-on-one session. So guys, this is very important. Till now, you haven't booked any one-on-one sessions. I think we only did that for 1 or 2 folks earlier. But this is a mandatory point, right? Before we meet in session 5, we need to have a one-on-one conversation either with me or with Pritish. What are we going to do? We're going to go through and we're going to actually start writing bits and pieces of code in SQL, right? As we will be building our databases. We are going to create our Superbase projects. We're going to start setting things up so that in session 5, we will not waste any time in terms of setting things up. We will directly start coding. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I think that's the
Just one question.
yes. Go ahead.
For me and Advik, do we do the one-on-one session together or do we do it separately?
I would say let's do it together, because
Okay.
it's one product, right? So and
Yeah.
what we're going to do is we're going to do like a bunch of brainstorming as well, right?
Okay.
In case one of you is missing, then we'll figure how to do that. But can we get a rough estimate on when we can meet? Me and Pritish are occupied Saturday and Sunday. Pritish, are you there on Sunday by any chance?
Yeah. Sunday I'll be available. And one just quick call out, guys, while you're setting up any of your accounts, right? Like try to log in via GitHub. So all the SSOs don't do it via Gmail, log in via GitHub so that your entire onboarding flow becomes much more simpler.
Should we do that in our one-on-one calls, Pritish? Would
Yeah,
that
yeah,
be safer?
yeah. Makes
We'll do
sense.
that. No, it'll be safer there. So we'll
Yeah.
do that on a one-on-one call. In fact, I'll also be available in the on Sunday around this time, around 8 o'clock or so. As in, I mean, if any one of you book a call or tell me that you're going to talk to us on 8 o'clock or something, then I'll be there on Sunday. Otherwise, I'll like kind of chill around. It's up to you. But otherwise, Prajwal, when do you want to schedule the next conversation?
I think I won't be able to do it over the weekend.
Okay, fine. So basically, we need to find out one slot before the next Friday's
Yeah,
session. So when do we do that?
I think I can do it on Monday, like already last time.
Perfect. Monday, let's block time. Arav, Advait, you're going to pick a session when?
I mean, for me, Monday or Wednesday is all right. If Arif is fine with it, of course.
Yeah. I think Monday works for me. Monday night.
Okay,
Monday.
perfect. Pritesh, you'll take that up Monday.
Yep. I'll work with them on Monday.
Perfect. Awesome, guys. So on Monday, what we're going to do is we'll start writing a first line of code. We'll set up all our accounts needed. And on Friday, oh wait, this Friday is a long weekend. Wala Friday, is it?
Yeah, 15th August.
Damn. Okay. I think the next session probably might be on 14th, guys, on a Thursday. Does Thursday work for all of you? The session 5 this time
Thursday
Thursday.
wouldn't work for me. Sorry,
Yes,
because I have my school starting, and it's quite
Got
late in the night for me.
got it. So what would your time slots be like?
Probably in the weekend,
Over the
or I could do
weekend,
Thursday evening.
Thursday evening, around what time?
Like maybe 6 o'clock India, maybe. 6 or
Okay,
7 a.m.
Advik, that works for you?
Thursday, it. I mean, I may not be available. I have to check because, like, right after that, I have to like attend an MUN.
Okay,
So
got
would
it.
Wednesday be possible? I know it's a bit early, but
Got it. Prajwal, what about you?
For me, Thursday is fine. So anytime.
Sorry.
Thursday, anytime is fine for me. I'm
Thursday
okay.
is fine, but
Yeah.
I think
Actually, I
Advik,
think Thursday this time should be work for me. I think it's okay. I think I can manage it one time Thursday this time.
but I think it won't work out for Advik, right? Like, so
Okay.
would Wednesday work for all three of you?
Okay, sir.
Wednesday, let's say this time.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that should be okay.
Okay. Prajwal works for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Advik. Then Wednesday, let's lock in Wednesday as session 5.
yeah, sure. That's a good
Perfect.
time.
Perfect. So then we're on a schedule. So far, like your progress is on. Oh, by the way, I think you should pat yourself on the back, each one of you. Reason being, it takes adults, so-called adults like ourselves, like probably like a couple decades older to you. It takes about 4 to 5 weeks to get to this stage. It's taking almost the same time for you guys, despite, and you're managing this all with all your other schoolwork and everything else, right? So super crazy. Now, from the next session, session 5 onwards, you're going to have a mix of wow moments. You're going to want to throw your laptops away in frustration sometimes because sometimes your code won't work, right? And there's going to be like a lot of friction, lots of enthusiasm, and towards the end, at the end of each session, you're going to feel satisfied. You're going to feel pumped. You would want to start putting more time on this, right? That's how you're going to feel like, right? So let's get started. The most exciting sessions are going to soon come by, but make it a point. Monday, Prajwal, I'm meeting you on Monday around 8 p.m. again. Arav and Advik, Pritesh is going to talk to you what we're going to achieve, create our GitHub accounts. We will do all of that in the Monday's conversation. You don't have to do, like, I think at least today the only off session work is read up about databases, read up about architecture of web applications. Right? These are the only two things that you'll need to understand, learn a bit about. Then on Monday we'll talk through the rest of the account creations and everything. And Wednesday we'll have our next session. All right. Perfect. And as always, if you have any questions at any point in time, you have our contact numbers, your phone numbers, and email IDs. Shoot, right? We'll be responding. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
my class on Monday, can we have it a little earlier, like at 6 o'clock? It's fine.
Sure. You tell me what time. You ping me.
Ah.
You have my number, na? Or email.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just shoot me an email. What time works for you? We'll meet then.
Okay, sir.
6 o'clock. You said, is it?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it at 6.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Awesome.
Good.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.
Yes.
Thank you.
Pritesh, if you can stay back. Huh. So I was just thinking.
Mhm.
So Monday we'll finish this.